Afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That didn't take too long, actually. Afternoon. Good afternoon. I think there's like wind in the background. I do. That's the fan. That's my fault. I should really try to get out nowadays. I think that's what I'm gonna try and do now. There was a moment where I sat there and I was just like, I really need to go out and and meet people or something like that. I'm at that point where I have to. What the heck? What's up, Argus? Yeah. But you know, that's some other thing that I'm gonna have to get myself on. Making use of the new sounds. That's good. I'm glad you're using it. Now, I got something to show. It's for Borderlands 4, and hopefully... Oh, it's 21 minutes. Alright, let's get this out the way. It's from Legacy Killer. Legacy Killer. Oh my god. I wanted to see what he says about all this. Seems that Borderlands 4 review was... It got bombed, I guess. CEO response: trashed, PC launch broken, and compared to Unreal Engine 5 disaster.
In May, we have the Oblivion remaster coming from Virtuous, and it was a disaster on PC for weeks. Fast forward to...
Granted, I only know what you guys know and what you guys tell me about all this, but from what it seems like is that I guess Borderlands 4 just the overall issue of it just functioning is a problem. But then you gotta ask, like, how did it come to this?
June, we had Mind's Eye coming from creative genius Leslie Benzies, and that was a disaster in so many different ways. But performance was one of the notable problems with the game. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers came in July, and yet another experience with PC performance problems. Echoes of the End came in August from Konami, and some of the headlines saying it was some of the worst stuttering we've seen lately on PC. And just a number of weeks ago, Mafia the Old Country had viral videos showing tons of gameplay stutters, which, yes, sparked a heated debate among gamers about Unreal Engine. And then the reason why we made a recent video on this channel about Unreal Engine 5 was sparked by this game, Metal Gear Solid Delta, in which tons of viral videos on PC showed it almost nearly unplayable. And yes, on other platforms like the PlayStation 5 Pro, it was said the performance was worse than the PS5. That is just truly insane. And yes, of all these games, this isn't going to be surprising. They all run on Unreal Engine 5, which has been a mess of an engine this console age.
Again, right? Again, a good brunt of the good brunt of this is the fact that devs who are using Unreal Engine 5 are not utilizing the full capabilities of Unreal Engine 5. And don't make no mistake, yeah, the Unreal Engine 5 is also at fault with this as well, because they made their engine too complicated for a lot of them to use. So it ends up like this. But, you know, can't just fault all of it to Unreal Engine. And I don't think he is, but that is just a reminder.
And really, it feels split. Like, it feels like every once in a while we'll get a good solid launch with this engine, but more often than not, it's just another disaster. And of all these games we just went over, these are all some of the notable Unreal Engine 5 games that released just in the last 4 to 5 months, and almost every single one of them was marred by just tremendous performance issues. And it's almost the same exact issues, which, yes, has put, Unreal Engine 5 and Epic Games, who, they develop all of that, has put them in a negative light. And here we are yet again. I feel like a broken record because it just keeps on happening. The last 2 years are littered with UE5 launches that looked incredible in marketing only to ship broken. Unreal Engine 5 is not a bad engine. It is, without a question, one of the most advanced tool sets ever built for real-time graphics, but the industry's dependence on it is creating a fragile ecosystem, one where homogenized aesthetics, broken performance, and middleware complacency are the norm. Borderlands 4 has launched, and it's unoptimized and horrible. It falls to a mixed Steam rating at launch as reviews hammer poor PC performance. And yeah, Borderlands 4 is climbing the Steam charts, though performance issues are raining on the parade. And yeah, look, it has been met to overall, the reviews are mostly positive. 97% of critics recommending the experience, 85%. That is a lot better of a sentiment compared to what we saw with Borderlands 3. And it looks like in many different ways, this is an improvement over the last experience.
I have no idea what happened with The Last of Us, I said The Last of Us, holy shit, Borderlands 3. I don't know what happened with Borderlands 3, but people say it was horrible, or the story was actually horrible. I'm not sure about the gameplay. I'm wondering if the gameplay was fine. I don't know.
All of that is good news, except for the fact that a lot of players cannot play this with a smooth experience without having to do tons of hurdles. And these are just some of the things that people are saying on Steam right now. None of my friends can get the game to start past main menu. When you couldn't restart, it doesn't close the original instance, and it still uses full memory. It doesn't matter how good the game is. AAA devs deserve low reviews on their games until they learn to release working titles. Indie devs release working games, but multi-million-dollar companies can't. Pathetic. And that is the big thing with Unreal Engine 5. A lot of the blame is thrown on that engine. We're going to go over a lot about that, but it's just this environment, this AAA games industry, there isn't a prioritization on optimization these days. It's always, well, launch it broken and we'll fix it later on.
That mentality has proven to work only because they've gamers nowadays, or people who just want to buy something of a luxury, will buy it day one or within the few hours that it has because of maybe reputation alone. So you have a game that comes out, they'll buy it, and it'll be broken, they'll complain, but you know what? You already gave up your money. So unless you go back to that store or to that digital storefront and it allows for returns, I mean, keeping it is only saying so much,
Mentality is destroying this industry. Another person saying Stutterland 4 review, an unholy trio of pricing, UE5 and Denuvo. I've been a Borderlands fan for years. The chaos, the humor, the endless loot grind. It's always been about fun first, never too serious. But Borderlands 4, it feels like Gearbox got dazzled by Unreal Engine 5, slapped on a $70 price tag, and forgot the part where the game is supposed to actually run. Having played for over an hour, I simply cannot recommend the game. There was multiple issues I saw as I was playing, and I think I need to be addressed. First, the technical issues. I have a 7900 graphics card, and on max settings with frame gen on, I was only getting around 90 FPS, which I think is crazy. Again, if you have a high-end rig FPS? And you're getting bare minimum FPS, that's just unacceptable. And that points to there being an optimization issue with the development of this experience. And, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford certainly has a lot to say about all of that. Another person saying terrible optimization, another UE5 casualty, not worth buying in its current state unless you have a NASA PC. Story and gameplay is fun. Fix stuttering, and I changed my review. Terrible optimization, worst I've seen. Turn it down to low graphics presents, and it couldn't hit 60 FPS, even with FSR upscaling on my RX 6900 XT. And yeah, right now it has a mixed rating based on around 10,000 reviews. It's right now sitting around 60%, and a lot of the criticism is just pointed at the fact that a lot of players can't get this game running properly. And in the year of 2025, the big year of 2025, that is so fucking unacceptable, especially with the fact they're charging a premium at $70. And another thing to note from these reviews is the fact that even some of the positive ones reactions are really negative. Can we stop releasing games that are broken? Another individual down here, a massive warning saying, if you want above 60 FPS, 1440p, and don't have at least a 3080, I would not buy the game. So far, the story and gameplay are actually really fun, but it really is frustrating.
Oh, you
Even
like the story
me
and
with
gameplay.
a 4070 Ti Super can barely get 60 FPS with upscaling. And yeah, more people saying reviews about poor performance, and it's a shame that the game was released with such bad optimization. And look, I think Tim Sweeney was absolutely on point with what he said. I think especially in the past there has been good reason to throw some of the aim, some of the criticism at Epic Games for Unreal Engine 5, but I think more often than not, a lot of the optimization that we're seeing from this industry, they just don't care about. And that's what Sweeney said recently about Unreal Engine 5 performance problems. He said they really aren't about the engine, they're about when developers choose to optimize. And specifically, the remark he said, which I think is pinpoint accurate now, the main cause is the order of development. Many studios build for top-tier hardware first and leave optimization and low-spec testing for the end. Ideally, optimization should begin early before full content build-out. We're doing two things, and this is what he's talking about Epic Games right now, efforts that we probably won't see for a while with, experiences to come in the future. We're doing two things, strengthening engine support with more...
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I just need to use the little boy's room real quick. I'm sorry. I should have peed before I did all this. I apologize. All right.
automated optimization
All right, where
across
were we?
devices, and expanding developer education. So optimize early becomes standard practice. That should be standard practice. Jesus. If needed, our engineers can step in. It does feel like optimization has become an afterthought in recent years. You don't say, it's not just Unreal Engine. So many of these different experiences, you know, Monster Hunter Wilds earlier this year, I think that uses the Capcom engine,
Oh my
or
gosh.
the RE engine or something. But yeah, that was an absolute.
So I have Monster Hunter Wilds, and I played on my PS5. So it's like it's nuts.
Disaster as well. This industry is just known for not caring about this type of stuff. But yeah, with tools like DLSS and FSR, which use resolution scaling and frame generation, often used to mask performance issues rather than solve them, which is exactly what is happening with Borderlands 4 right now, and the CEO of Gearbox is pushing this hard. Game complexity is much higher than 10 years ago, so it's hard to solve purely at the engine level. Engine makers and game teams need to collaborate. We're also bringing Fortnite optimization learnings into Unreal Engine, so titles run better on low-spec PCs. And that was, again, Tim Sweeney's response to the criticism thrown at Unreal Engine. This was around the time, just about a week or two ago, when Metal Gear Solid Delta was being hit with a lot of that criticism. But yeah, look, the pre-release marketing for, you know, Borderlands 4, I think was actually pretty good for the most part. Like, some of the previews that came about, they were saying Borderlands 4 wants you to forget Borderlands 3 ever happened. Music to my ears. That actually got me instantly excited. Maybe this is going to be worth my time and money.
Was Borderlands 3 really that bad? That's fucking stupid.
And then we have the sweatiest gaming executive alive. That is Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford, who can be compared to really a lolcow in this industry.
Is he though?
Or, you know, YouTubers and such. He acts like one. You know, he's run into so many different incidents over the years. I'm surprised that 2K Games still lets him market these games. Like, just a number of months ago, he was defending the possibility of charging $80 for Borderlands 4, saying real fans will pay up. Mass outrage then ensued, and he, you know, his response was, well, I don't set the prices. The guy just does not know what to say at the right time. And look, it's not like this is the first incident over the years. We had Alien Colonial Marines, the disappointment, the outrage, the false advertising, and his piss poor responses to the criticism with them lying about the game. There was the USB restaurant incident.
It was a really, really dark time during Alien Colonial Marines. It's like a whole point of gaming for which I just want to forget.
In which he left behind a USB drive with company secrets and apparently barely legal adult content. Just absolutely embarrassing. He also compared the Borderlands movie to the Beatles and a bunch of other stuff, as well as stiffing Borderlands 3 devs on promised bonuses. And then, yeah, he has notable poorly aged remarks about how Steam was going to die and Epic Game Store was going to flourish. That never happened. So Randy Pitchford, not exactly the brightest soul in the gaming industry. And really where I got worried about Borderlands 4 was some of those final previews. While a lot of them were positive, you know, saying the things I wanted to hear, I also started to see that very thing that I see with so many Unreal Engine 5 games, and it's the lack of optimization. And Randy Pitchford obviously had a response to this criticism. He said, I may be conflating recommended specs with required specs. 2K QA collaborating with our engineering team at Gearbox sets the standard, and 2K QA reports indicate that they are able to achieve 60 FPS average with minimum spec PC on typically medium settings. Different PC configurations will vary. HDD versus SDD is also a factor for the hitching, and yes, Day 1 patch has some key improvements and optimizations.
Sorry about that.
I just want...
what is he talking about? BUs having a different PC configuration will vary. HDD versus SDD. Yes, the solid SDD. HDD versus SSD or SDD. He's talking about, like, okay. Does he mean by SSD? The solid state drive versus the hard digital driver? Like, is that what he's talking about, or what is he talking about with that one? Factor in the hitching, yes, okay.
Everybody to have realistic expectations for performance. This is a big open AAA game, and lower end and older hardware may not perform as well as high-end modern PCs.
That's the problem. That is the problem. Why is it that you're always... So the industry wants to force the typical gamer to update and upgrade to the next machinery, and they want that. I understand that, and that's going to give them more money, more investment, and more people allowed to play the games that are coming out. But the problem with all that is that they literally are trying to leave the past so fast, saying like, no, that's yesterday's thing, which is the reason why they don't want to preserve video games, by the way. Can't always expect people to just automatically get the newest thing, right? Like they have to understand that that's what it is, right? Like you should be able to have games that work on past consoles or work on past platforms or older excuse me, older platforms, right?
I asked for some assets to be generated to show a range of specifications and how they perform with different settings to help users decide we're confident in the game's performance and optimization, especially given what the software is doing under the hood. That was his, I guess you could say, mini damage control that happened about a week or so ago before launch, and that instantly got me worried, like, oh no, here we go with Borderlands 4 again. And then we had Conan O'Brien. He held his own little Clueless Gamer segment. I actually really like that stuff. And for the first time with that show, the game crashed on him. This is the first time this has ever happened to him, and that's where I was like, oh no, here we are going. This is exactly what's going to happen. It's just going to be like the last number of Unreal Engine 5 launches, and guess what? It is exactly that. And here we have streamers like having to do all kinds of different configurations with their, you know, massively expensive rigs just to get to the game running how it should. A lot of Borderlands 4 complaints are people struggling to maintain at least 60 FPS despite having decent PCs, and Shroud saying,
yeah, it runs at 100 FPS. The game runs at 100 FPS with, this is the best settings I could find. I couldn't find any better settings. So I'm not on like all ultra and all high. This is the best I could do, because once I started to get all ultra and all high, I had about 70, which is still above 60.
But again, I think it really needs to be pointed out, these guys have the best of the best rigs, and they're barely getting what I consider performance that's acceptable with a AAA game. Again, this experience should be running flawlessly, especially with some of the advertising that has been put out, you know, about configurations, what they should be running at. Another user saying, Borderlands performance summary in 2 minutes, native resolution, badass settings, the game runs bad, upscaling performance modes, badass settings, the game barely manages to hit 60 FPS, frame gens turned on, and now you have 100 FPS. Now, what does that remind you of? Exactly what Tim Sweeney was pointing out, and the fact that with tools like DLSS and FSR, which use resolution scaling and frame generation, they often are used to mask performance issues rather than solve them. And that is seemingly exactly what is happening here with Borderlands 4. But as Nick Tech, another YouTube creator, says, some people will turn all these settings on and be happy with it, but my
As like I said before, frame generation is it's a band-aid, really. They're trying to use frame generation as a means of like, oh yeah, you can get better FPS, but the problem with frame generation is that it's working off of like random number generator freaking AI wondertastic band-aid solution, which is not ideal for games that, you know, what I play fighting games, and I imagine for anybody who's playing FPS, that really matters. FPS, they need those frames, man, in order to play the best that they can be. So it's like, yeah, it's like a freaking band-aid.
Honest opinion, these are used as crutches to make the game look as if it's performing good. Borderlands 4 has a certain art style that doesn't look like it needs these make the game look as if it's performing good. Borderlands 4 has a certain art style that doesn't look like it needs these kind of settings to be turned on to play at a high frame rate, but sadly it does. And you can defend this if you want, but the future of gaming looks bleak. Using this tech to not optimize the games further will just result in input latency increased, as every game will be delivered with frame gen turned on in the dev's mind. And another tweet, he pointed out, Borderlands 4 doesn't have ray trace reflections, yet demands the highest end hardware to run properly. At first I thought recent GPUs struggle with this game due to ray tracing, but it's clear they didn't use ray tracing. And then another post coming from Beyond FPS saying, and one last thing about Borderlands 4, because I'm already seeing the classic another bad PC port narrative nonsense, it looks like ass on PC and still delivers a lower frame rate, not a consistent 60 FPS, which I really
that's on, you said, oh, It looks ass on PS5. Oh
That was
gosh.
going to be the norm this generation, but unfortunately that is not the case. Another individual, this being another YouTube creator, Mischief, saying, I played about 7 hours of Borderlands 4 and so far it's everything I wanted, which makes the fact I cannot recommend it at all even crazier. And again, it's the performance. The performance on PC is obviously ridiculous, but console players aren't safe here either. As Synth Potato, another creator, pointed out, instead of optimizing the game, Gearbox simply lowered the FOV so far that you were unironically permanently stuck with Halo 5 sight aiming FOV on console, and it looks horrible. It does. It looks horrendous. And he points out another post to show how disgusting and motion sickness induced the FOV on consoles is. Here's the default on PC versus low settings available on PC. Believe it or not, the console version is reportedly even lower than this. You are in essence perpetually aiming down sights on PS5, Xbox Series X, and yeah, it does not look good enough. And again, it just points to the fact
Can't. Oh, okay. All right, I see. Okay, I see. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, I see it.
that optimization was not a priority at Gearbox, unfortunately, with the development of this game. But Randy Pitchford has a lot of responses. In recent days, right before launch, he said the day one patch does a lot. It didn't. That said, the expectation for using a below min-spec machine should be that the game is unplayable, that the game runs at all on your system is a miracle. It's a big, bold, new, seamless world, and I'm sorry to say that
There's the long walk. I hope that's a reference to Silk Song down there in trending.
older hardware may not provide buttery smooth performance for the latest gen AAA games, as has always been the case since the dawn of PC gaming. My guy, there is a number of experiences that you can run still on a toaster these days. Here he has a video showing from a YouTuber. If you're playing Borderlands 4 on PC and want to boost your performance, this YouTube creator shared his settings tips when he was able to jump from 90 to 160 FPS. Spoiler alert, he used frame generation. And yeah, people commented it below saying, Randy, I mean this with the best intentions.
What?
You're seriously disconnected from what actual gamers want. You also don't seem to understand how this is unacceptable behavior. Just promise to optimize your games. Frame gen should absolutely not be the answer. And yeah, many other people criticizing this down below. You should not need frame gen for a game that with this art style. Using frame gen, which requires a 40 series, and as somebody with a 3080 Ti, I'm screwed on that.
He's a 3080? Oh my gosh. I thought you... Okay, well, I mean, I still need to upgrade. I'm in the 40 series, but like... God, I mean, trying to invest in a graphics card is like trying to chop off one of your toes. Let's be honest, it's chopping off your whole leg and selling it, because that thing is like over... Like, a good graphics card is over $500. Over $500. You want to get one that's working with standard, you probably want to go close to $800 to $900.
This person also has a 3080. It's bad when frame gen has to be used to optimize a game that should have been optimized well.
Get the newest
not
card
a
because
good
they use
look,
AI.
bro.
I will not go into the 50 series. I don't think because each and every one of those graphic cards is like utilizing AI frame generation as like a core asset for them. So I'm gonna probably stick with the 40 series, probably go to 4080 and 4090, see if they're cheaper on the market, you know. Yeah, I'm not getting a 50
look,
series.
Nick Tech also points out a great small tip I always give if you're playing Borderlands 4 on PC is to buy a $2,000 GPU, then turn on DLSS to performance mode.
Okay, the reason why I'm laughing, I'm a bit of a tech nerd, but like all the numbers they're saying is actually making me laugh. Spend $2,000 on an RTX 5090, then turn on DLSS to performance mode, which means that the graphical quality of your card is going to suck. Turn on frame gen and you will go to 90 to 160 FPS. Mind you, the goal here is to stay above 120 FPS. Oh my goodness.
Turn on frame gen and you'll be going from 90 to 160 FPS. He's making fun of Gearbox and Randy Pitchford. Again, all these configurations you have to get to this game running solidly well. And look, Randy had a lot more to say in response to the criticism. This was just hours ago. He said, we had some CS work prove that through settings tweaks, only being able to climb up to 120 FPS plus on PC in Borderlands 4 with 3 and 4-year-old hardware. Your mileage may vary, but please consider using the tools available to you to tune your own balance between FPS, resolution, and graphic features. But you don't have to wait for a patch to get nice frame rate with Borderlands 4. We'll do more to share tips and guidance also. And somebody responded saying, what 3 and 4-year-old hardware, what were on the specs? Randy says, Borderlands 4 is a premium game made for premium gamers. Yeah, if you don't have that high-end rig, you're fucked. That's pretty much what Randy's saying. Sorry, we're not making a game for you. Just as Borderlands 4 cannot run on a PlayStation 4, it cannot be expected to run on too old PC hardware. Look, the PlayStation 4 is very old. There's a lot of PCs in the middle that have better.
That's not what you want to tell people. That's not what you want to tell people. You can't always expect people to just spend money on the newest shit. Really, you just can't. You can't expect that. Honestly, they're so far gone, and they'll probably never understand. They're like, why aren't they upgrading to the newest stuff? And it's like, well, they can't afford a $2,000 graphic card, and they probably don't want to.
Better hardware than the PS4 that cannot run this game at all. Again, if you're relying on frame generation,
Gearbox has such a safety net. They'll be fine.
And he says, unlike on PlayStation and Xbox, we cannot prevent a PC player with suboptimal hardware for the game trying to play it. So some try and get mad, and some have actual issues we need to fix. He goes on to say, this is not a game made to run on 10-year-old PCs. It seems like 3 to 4-year-old PCs.
He has some sort of security up in his position.
Let's just concentrate on the 10-year-old PCs. This game uses the full capabilities of modern bus, CPU, and GPU. If you're trying to drive a monster truck with a leaf blower's motor, you're going to be disappointed. That's a stupid analogy in this situation. If you discover the system can't run the game well by accident or wishful thinking and or don't want to try to mess with the settings to make things good enough, please use the refund feature on Steam. And it seems like a number of players are going that route. But look, Randy wasn't done. This thread, he had a lot to say about that. We already went over this tweet, but he was giving all kinds of tips and stuff. Look, this is just so fucking insane, so unacceptable.
All right, let's hear it.
With
what
everything
does he
you
have to
do
say?
just to get the game running.
I can't wait. What does he say?
Acceptable manner. If you're running Windows 10, try enabling hardware scheduling using your graphics driver settings.
What?
Another one, I play with volumetric fog turned off. I like the performance boost. If you have DLSS option, use it. There's a hardware ray tracing lighting setting that you can also toggle to earn some frames. I know a lot of you are dead set on playing at 4K with ultra max settings and using 2 or 3-year-old hardware. You do you, but Borderlands 4 and Unreal Engine 5 are doing a lot, and for me, that trade-off for frames isn't worth it. Look, this is just so unacceptable, the way that he's talking about this. I mean, soon he's going to be tweeting out the mods that actually make this game run well.
Oh, he better not.
Like, look, Bethesda has been criticized with the fact that modders have to fix the game. I think, Gearbox should be criticized the same way here, with all of the, extra work that you have to do to run this game in a functional state. And yeah, people pointing out, come on, man, this is just copium. I'm playing on an overclocked 5090, 9800 at 4K. I almost have the most expensive computer that you can buy commercially. I cannot crack 120 FPS without frame gen. And again, I totally disagree with this right now. And that is the route that Randy Pitchford is going. And it is worth highlighting that people are starting to get under Randy's skin, because he replied to one individual that said, stop relying on AI upskill. He said, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. Oh, no. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing. And all the support recommendations and code and architecture from the world's...
So, okay. Let's decode what he just said here. Code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. First of all, he just threw Unreal Engine under the bus. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they are doing, and all the support and recommendations and code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working the world's greatest real-time graphic engine coders don't know what you seem to know. Sarcasm. So first of all, he sits here and kind of mocks the person who is complaining, right? Second of all, he is kind of throwing Unreal Engine under the bus. But at the same time, he is defending them, saying they have the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies. Like they care. You know what the world's greatest and leading hardware companies don't care about? They care about whether or not their machine is being sold, and they have already gone the way of AI frame generation. So the world's greatest hardware companies ain't helping. Tech companies working with world's greatest real-time graphic engine coders ain't helping, because those people have to work with those new hardware, which is working off of, well, not the best kind of solution that they think of when it comes to frames, and they're using frame generation, which it means, I mean, they're using AI, and AI, in my opinion, is one of, if not one of the leading cause of de-optimization of the game, because you relying on an AI to optimize your game only hinders it with like a stub or a band-aid. It's not going to help. Should be a lower settings in PC. I mean, I think there should be a lower settings, a medium settings, and a high settings, and the full settings. But we have people, right? We have people who, in the gaming industry, are just trying to make the newest good-looking thing, get money off of that, and not really try to progress video games. They're trying to make shortcuts. PoE2 is using AI. I heard of that, and I do want to investigate that myself to see how they're using it. The problem isn't AI in general. The problem is who is using AI and how they're using AI. Because AI can be used for good things. The reason why so many people hate it right now is because so many people are using AI in the worst fashions, or in a lazy fashion, which could be worse. No one's using it for good things. That's not true, Cherry, actually. So in accounting, they're using AI to help with the calculations of certain companies have like too many books within accounting. That is too much for one person, or even like a whole entire army of accountants to try to take measure of, and AI does help with that in that stance. And that's just math, right? Also, I mean, AI can also be used in different ways that doesn't impede on the person who is actually trying to use it. So for instance, I know they're saying, oh, just use AI for full art. There are people who use AI within their art, but it fixes their own art that they've already created, or makes suggestions. See, it's how you use it and who uses it. It's not, oh, AI is just outright bad. And that's kind of the misunderstanding here, is that people just think that AI is just outright bad. No, it's the people who are orchestrating it and using it. If a good majority of people are using AI in the worst possible way, you're going to get shitty things from AI. And it's like, what's a good metaphor here? What's a good metaphor? I want to say it's like dropping $1 million in front of two kinds of people. One, you drop $1 million in front of a homeless person, and the other, you drop $1 million in front of a person who's well off, right? 9 times out of 10, the person who's homeless will try to get their life back together with said money, and sometimes it can be abused. It's a very high possibility. Whereas the person who's already well off, they'll probably invest it, they'll probably use it to take care of other things, or they'll probably donate it, And the reason why I'm making that comparison is because if you're a person who doesn't have all the assets right there readily available, somebody might just use AI to shortcut that. Whereas somebody who already is a good and talented coder, or a good and talented artist, or already good with math and business, will hardly use AI for that, and use it another way.
greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know / sarcasm. And that's an ignorant response, considering he was, just a couple of days ago saying, oh no, there's not going to be that many issues, it's just those older systems. That's clearly not the case, and there's clearly been, even from the modding community, some massive improvements made from the community. Randy Pitchford's trying to deflect a lot of the criticism that they're receiving, and at the same time we are seeing individuals like Tim Sweeney of Epic Games saying it's not the engine's fault, it's developers not prioritizing optimization. Fortunately though, patches are coming, and look, it's probably going to be much better in the weeks to come. And so far, one of the patches that have been released, I think just the other day, seems like performance did see a boost. That's the good thing. And yeah, we are hoping you're having a blast. Today we're releasing a new update to help improve stability, and yes, FOV, they're working on that. That seems to be something that's in development, but again, that could be weeks, maybe even months until they get around to that. And Borderlands 4 is yet another example of an Unreal Engine 5 game that is unplayable at launch. And the next week or so, maybe it improves, and I really do hope it does. But the conversation surrounding Unreal Engine 5 games being massive disappointments and not worth it on launch day for that premium price tag continues on. And Borderlands 4 is yet another example of this industry not caring about optimization. And this isn't an issue just linked to Unreal Engine 5. This console generation, this industry just does not care about this. I hope people understand it is a deliberate choice by these studios, by these publishers, to launch these games in these states. They know how it runs. They just don't care. They do not respect your dollar or you as a player. And that is because there's a mentality, a broken mentality that will fix it later. And my God, is it getting annoying. Anyway, what do you make of Borderlands 4? Are you enjoying the game? Are there performance issues you're running into? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or if you found any informative value.
Well, okay. I will say this. Sweeney really did have a point there where he said that it's half the engine, but it's also the other half the responsibility of the developers to optimize around that engine. Yes, the engine is kind of like super, right? It's like super powerful and kind of complicated, and you really have to learn the engine in order to actually code it well and have the graphics be optimized for the game that you're trying to create. I get that, I understand that, but the problem here is that it's not just Unreal Engine, it is also the developer. So you can come out with some mind you, I'm not blaming the engine for that. It's just that people that use it almost never make it work. Well, then I wouldn't rule out Unreal Engine games, to be honest. You can have an Unreal Engine game and come out to run stably, optimized, and actually pretty good. So it's like, I won't throw out the entire bath out of the tub or anything like that. So, it's just different for me. And I think maybe a lot more people have my mind think about that they're not going to stave off any games created by Unreal Engine. You're on edge because it's just ridiculous. It's a matter of like what you see and what the experience that you have with Unreal Engine may have been negative, but we already know why it's like this. And a good chunk of that is kind of the company that's making the game. Like, they made the game in like 3 to 5 years, and you're like, what, how? I don't think I have. Silksong ruined everything. Well, look at that. Oh, dang, he crashed it out. Okay, that's weird. I have a Leakazoid video here. You guys want to watch that?
So ruined everything for the AAA gaming industry. Why would I sell my kidneys to buy Borderlands 4 when Silksong is only $20?
How did he immediately go into How did he do that?
Vampire the Masquerade's gonna charge 3 Silksongs for the base game and then 1.5 Silksongs for the cut content when they forgot the most important parts. Vampire the Masquerade is masquerading as Vampire the Masquerade. It's just that simple, folks.
What the heck?
How is Sharded Space gonna ask me to empty my wallet for an empty DLC? I'm not paying $30 to be depressed by Todd Howard's downfall. I'm curing it using code bail money to buy some big titty body pillows. There are 2 immutable facts in life. Labubus are demons sent from hell to claim our
That's
souls,
true.
and the AAA gaming industry is always looking for a new way to fuck us. But where they've made an art form out of overcharging and under-delivering, Silksong undercharges and over-delivers, which is why in the first week of its release, the population of Greece has already bought Silksong, and half of Bungie is gone. Hey, remember not to over-deliver on that next job application. Give me some. Oh, he got a promotion. Silksong is mopping the
Wait, what?
job application.
Destiny 2 in the beware of the over delivery mantra.
Give me some. Oh, he got a promotion. Silksong is mopping the
what?
floor with almost every AAA release this year. Friend Slop, Todd Slop, Hell Slop, Idler Slop, name a slop that's come out recently. This slop is blowing it out. Idler Slop, name a slop that's come out recently.
What? Where did this come from? Where did this come from?
Slop is blowing it out. Italian
my
slop? People don't want to see old Italians selling spicy ragu. They want a naked stick figure. The number
I was so mad about that whole part where I got put into jail. I was like, they took her cloak. They made her naked. So bad.
numbers don't lie. There are almost 600,000 players playing this. That's more players than Concord, if you can believe it. Silksong is
I bet he referenced Concord, bro.
winning
Wow.
so bigly that it crashed Steam,
What?
Nintendo, and PlayStation, proving that no one
I
owns
saw
an
that.
Xbox. But until a week
True.
ago, I had no clue
True.
what the hell a Silksong even was. So I went to investigate its success, and immediately
Oh, okay. Yep. Come on, guys.
things started making sense. You don't see this happening with those West Coast games, do you? Fun fact, despite making up 2% of the states in America, California makes up over 50% of the job layoffs in the gaming industry.
Ah, yeah. I wonder why. Maybe. I mean, statistically speaking, that's where most of the gamer jobs are in California. Sorry. I'm just throwing math in here.
Maybe they commit more crimes. These people will make thirst traps out of anything. That thing is a bug. Yet they still
True.
won't draw you.
Oh God, he's showing Rule 34.
Your games. Now it goes
What
without
the
saying, a few fan-animated projects is not the only reason why this game succeeded. For the last 8 years, every unemployment check has come with a free copy of Hollow Knight.
I might actually do a bit of like Hollow Knight today.
Let that sink in. That's
I do want to get
getting
some of that done.
blue-balled for the last decade waiting for this, and when it finally got announced, more loads were launched in that 5 minutes than in the entirety of World War II. And when all those
fuck was
people
that?
got the game on release, they could actually play it because it wasn't made with Unreal Engine 5. Thank
Bro, he scared the shit out of me.
God, praise Jesus Christ is king. My computer can finally play a new release without getting hotter than the Earth's fucking core. You know why they call it Unreal Engine 5? Because it's 5 minutes between every crash. Hell, just look
was
at
Unreal-
Borderlands
okay.
Unreal Engine 5 because it's 5
So that's a Unreal Engine 4 crash. So
5 minutes between every crash. Hell, just look at Borderlands 4. They paid Conan the Barbarian millions of dollars to show everyone that this game runs like shit.
You crashed the game? How?
Don't worry though, Randy. As a real fan, I saw this, robbed a small local bank, and bought the Ultimate Edition immediately. The indie market continues to destroy AAA games because they keep making gameplay-focused games at reasonable prices. Peak, Schedule 1, now this. You would think AAA would take this as a lesson, but the only lesson they're gonna take from Peak is that the real key to success is locking 10 men in a basement in Korea and not letting them out until they've made a hit. Almost
Okay, to be fair, Peak is multiplayer schlop. All right, it is multiplayer schlop. I'm pretty sure college kids could make Peak. I think it was. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I'm lying. I'm sorry. But the point is that kids and generations down there, generations of the yesteryear, right? They'll love Peak. But what about every other indie game? I don't know. Peak is an indie game, but it is multiplayer schlop, and kids these days are looking for multiplayer schlop.
Half of what I said there was true. Look it up. Oh, but when we lock people into a basement and force them to work for the bad guys. Sir, you didn't give them any food. Shut up, pimp! I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone sometimes. The indie devs are the ones taking 8 years so that they can release a full game, and the small, scrappy, up-and-coming billion-dollar company is the one launching into early access. The fuck? Luckily, just when I start to think I'm losing my goddamn mind, they go and add microtransactions to a closed alpha and my world makes sense again.
Yeah. That a closed alpha with microtransactions. Oh my god.
Which leads me to my next point. It's not just that Silksong is $20. It's that it's actually $20. There isn't cut content sold back to me. There isn't cut content used like a lure to bring me back to the game. Like, you go look at that new skate game. Oh, we got exciting new content coming in Season 2 called Basic Functionality. These days, lower priced games aren't deals, they're honeypots. Hey, come stop by and play Destiny 2 for free today. Gotcha, bitch! You like trains, pimp? Oh, yeah? You like them more than having a home? When I saw Mafia
Wait, hold on.
Gotcha, bitch! You like trains,
Oh, that's Train Simulator. Who made that? Dovetail Games. Oh my god.
pimp? Oh, yeah? You like them more than having a home? When I saw Mafia, the old car, bitch! You like trains, pimp? Oh, yeah? You like them more...
What the fuck? What? That's not real. That's not real. What?
More than having a home? When I saw Mafia, the old country at $50, I'm gonna be honest with you, pimp. I thought they were gonna sell the Italian accent
That's not
separately. I
real.
was relieved when I bought the game and found out they sold the funds separately. Recently, Assassin's Creed Shadows charged $70 and then still put all the best stuff in the shop. And they would have charged more, but they knew Ubisoft fans can't count higher than that. Hell, the big pop of microtransactions has bundles that cost 27 grand. That's
Oh my God.
1,350 Silksongs. Somebody's gotta let these money launderers know there's a better way. And every indie game that came out last week should have gotten out the way. I'll say the loud part out loud. Every indie game that releases in a post-Silksong world is fucked. Quite frankly, I'm shocked GTA 6 is releasing in the same decade as this masterpiece. But enough foreplay, enough goofing. Let's get into the actual review of Silksong. You ready? I had to refund it to afford Borderlands 4 Crippling Dead Edition. Thanks to the flock of pimps, and thanks to everyone that used the Gamer Subs code Bail Money last week. You guys blew me away with your support. I mean, we're already over 15% of the way to a Shaker Cup. God damn! I couldn't do this without you pimps, so thank you all again, and I'll see you all next week when we roast Borderlands 4. Silksong!
When we roast Borderlands 4. My god. My god. Of course, though. Oh. Train game has almost 800 DLCs tied to it, and there are at least $10 except for a few, so it might be more, might be higher, might be bigger. Ooh, excuse me. Well, some being under $10. I mean, well, okay, you wrote that wrong. You gotta put the money sign in front of the 10. I don't know how it's done in Canada. wait, wait, what is the Canada money sign? Canadian money sign. What does that look like? Wait, do you guys use our... Wait. Oh, it just has a C in front of it. And apparently it's a yeah, it's CA, I guess. You guys use the same money sign. Okay. That's me, not you. Ugh, man. Oh, I messed up. Hold on. Okay, I just wanted to know what the music of the day was. Well, I mean, at this point, what can I say about video games and all that other such? It's getting to be kind of tiring saying the same old rhetoric over and over again, where AAA game companies do the same shit over and over again, like they just don't really know, or really, it's not like they don't know, it's just that they don't care. They honestly just don't care. Yeah, I mean, oh shit, I'm not on the window. I am definitely going to, I mean, I'm already supporting indie games. I just need to, because we're gonna play Silk Song later after, I think I'm gonna take like an hour break. Only so that I can try to stay up a little bit longer. I'm just gonna make sure that I exit out of the mine. There's still some AAA games I'll play, but most of them are indie nowadays. Well, you want to see something funny? Here, I'll show you something like really funny. After I load into the map here. Here, let me show you something funny, like something that's like incredibly hilarious. All right. Oh, you guys can't see. Okay, hold on. So, here's my desktop. Hold on, let me just... The games I'm playing. And... Where's this? I guess Riot's not... Riot is AAA. So, over here, in the green box, is AAA games. So no matter how you look at it, Chrono Trigger is a AAA game. But these are all the AAA games that are currently loaded into my computer. That includes the Sega Mega Drive Collection, Sonic Mania, Sonic X Shadow, the Final Fantasies that are here, Octopath Traveler 2. I uninstalled 1. I should really reinstall it. And then look in the middle here. Look at the middle here. So it's all indie games. These are all indie games. Every single one is an indie game. Now the games I'm playing, I put in blue, right? Reminds, like, they're all reminders that I need to play them or I'm focusing on them. So that's how the system works. But I have my folders here that are not displayed. Obviously, those are folders that not really so private. I don't care. I just don't feel like them showing up on screen or anything like that. Looks like your own Steam library and wishlist. Well, if we went over my Steam library, it's going to be a lot of different variety of games, but I'm focused on the games that I am currently have available, right? So all of these are indie games. Every single one in this box is an indie game. Every single one. And except for this is actually a ROM hack. It's still an indie game, I guess. Over here are the actual AAA video games. These are AAA. All of them are created by AAA, published by AAA. And they're much smaller than what I have in terms of indie games. And even inside the games I'm playing right now, if you look at it, you have AAA game, Final Fantasy XIV. This is a mod, so I guess that's indie. Another AAA is Marvel Rivals. At this point, I think it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's AAA. Then you got indie, AAA, indie, technically, indie, AAA, indie. Yes, Path of Exile's indie, AAA. That's not a Crossworld. I'm gonna get the game, obviously. And then there's 2XKO, which is also AAA. So there's not a lot of AAAs that I'm currently playing. So that's the funny haha about all this. Funny haha, right? Rivals is AAA? Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is, right? Because Marvel Rivals is head up by, I mean, Marvel sanctioned it, right? Obviously, and the Marvel Studio sanctioned it. I'm pretty sure the publisher or the developers are AAA. I'm pretty sure of that. Might get Crossworld if the reviews are good after. You got to be careful about that one. So I played Crossworld and it's fun as hell, but the reason why it's fun for me is because it's very arcadey, and arcadey games is not always going to be like, oh yeah, I definitely want to get that or something like that for a lot of young folks or anything like that. And even for old folks, you know, it can only go so far with the whole arcadey feel. So Sonic Crossworlds is very arcade-like. It's very arcadey, and it gives you the illusion of speed because they know how to actually give that illusion of speed, which is good. They're saying that it's better than Mario Kart for whatever reason, and I think people have a misinterpretation of both games. Not saying they're either both are bad. In fact, I think both Sonic Crossworlds and Mario Kart World are both fun games. Is Mario Kart World bad? The only thing that I see in terms of bad aspect is the intermissions. Nobody likes to be on a straight road or a windy straight road doing nothing. So that's always been the problem. Where is it? So yeah, already pre-ordered it and planning to stream it with friends. Bro, when does it come out? It comes out the end of this month, right? Let me see something. It comes out the end of this month. Because I do plan on getting it. The release day is the 25th. Yeah, I do plan on getting it. I'll probably pre-order it this week. Like I said, it was fun as heck when I was playing it. Oh, the outpost has been taken. Poo poo skidoo, they say. Poo poo skidoo. By the way, August, kind of a badass tank. Well, that depends, Rio. How much are you? Because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be as much as it's not going to be as much money as it is for freaking Mario Kart World, which was like $80 fucking dollars. It was 50 for me because I got the bundle, but fucking $80 goddamn dollars. Just like God, it's like, Nintendo, what are you doing? Are you trying to gouge me out? Path of Exile 2 is from Tencent. Well, you're right, it is Tencent, isn't it? But Grinding Gear Games is Grinding Gear Games considered AAA? That's the question, because they're the ones who developed it. Grinding Gear Games, indie or AAA? Let's go. Let's check and see. Video game based in Auckland, New Zealand. Okay, significance. Has over 180 employees, so that's not small, but as initial considering an indie game, a current scale and development of a AAA sequel of Path of Exile has shifted its category. So I guess considering that its scale and size have been shifted, I would consider calling Grinding Gear Games maybe AA at this point. And their parent company is indeed Tencent. Yeah, it is indeed Tencent. I would still consider them maybe AA. They're probably not indie anymore, but I wouldn't consider them AAA. And AA is alright in my book, because usually when it comes to AA, they come out with projects that are usually very fun. So like, and there's plenty of AAA companies that have AA companies or groups under them. Sadly, they're usually the first to go when they have to downsize. So they're definitely, and then after that, they just become indie again. You guys want to hear this music? I guess hearing the game would probably be better, right? I just don't know how to turn off the sound for it. Oh, Jesus. God. Oh, God. Oh, okay. All right. Calm your tits. Well, AA is the in-between. It's kind of like the bridge between indie and AAA. Like, once you're in AA, I mean, your future is secured, but you do sacrifice some of your freedom because Grinding Gear Games, well, their parent is indeed Tencent. So if Tencent says jump, Grinding Gear Games have to say how high in some cases, you know? And I'm not saying this against Grinding Gear Games. I know they have full intent to support the player in all this. Because they have, on more than one occasions, acknowledged, and they do pay attention to what people say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not fully tarnished. Oh, I forgot to read the damn book. After this, we're going to read the damn book. I gotta get closer to the outpost, too. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, there has been some bad AA stuff. There has indeed been bad AA stuff. You're right. Individual, page 1. 4 bunnies. Okay. Yeah, no, that's perfect. I need to kill some bunnies and lizards. Some very scary bunnies. Some scary ass bunnies. Same time, it could also be said about indie, since there's a decent amount of asset flip and bad actors. I haven't seen a lot of asset flip and bad characters as of recently. I'm sure they exist. I'm not saying they don't. But I want to say that so far, it looks like people are understanding what a good indie game looks like, and people are understanding what a bad indie game looks like. You need plugins for Square's housing. I think it should be said that their idea of making housing in 14, I don't quite understand why they always limit so many things. Need that. All right, need to run. Need to run. Need to run. Even plugins don't really save it. They try. They have to work around the game's very coding. They have to, I mean, they're stuck working around the game itself. That's why there aren't like any plugins that truly can change what is going on. And once they start touching the code, it becomes a problem. Shantotto, just knock it out or something. You don't have to massacre the bunny. Like, the bunny did not deserve that. Jeezers. Jeezers. She went full Elmer Fudd. Yeah, I guess that's what it was. I'm hunting wabbits. Explodes. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you hunted wabbits, all right. Jesus. What do I expect? I don't know. I was expecting some sort of mercy or something, but that didn't happen. I don't know why I said mercy. I'm acting like she can actually, she understands what mercy is. Oop, he died. He died like a bitch. Uh-oh, there's a goblin. There's a goblin. Okay. There's a plugin called Markplace or Makeplace where you can design a house without even opening the game and copy the items and placement variables through an in-game plugin. That's actually pretty smart. Here's the question though. Is there ever going to be a time where we don't use mods, plugins, and all that other stuff and just be able to play the game how it is? Like, I'm not just talking about 14 specifically. I'm just saying, like, I would like to be able to play a game and not have, like, in the next, like, 3 days, oh, there's already a mod for this. Because he did the same thing. That happened with me with Silksong. Because Silksong comes out and somebody was just like, oh, yeah, wait, actually, Nanako, Wasn't that you, or was that Derp? I think it was Derp. I think Derp, you have a mod that sends you like right back to the boss or something like that after you die to him, and it's just like, I'm good. I'll take the walk of shame. And this isn't against anybody who's using the mods, really. I'm just saying, like, I want one day to have, like, I want to be able to play a game, right, that's not always going to have to be fixed by a mod or a plugin. And, you know, when it comes right down to it, it's a culture, I guess. Nanako and Derp are the same entity. You're right. Well, I mean, then my mistake was actually a correction, or my mistake of putting the two together was actually me being right somehow, some way. I'm gonna try a lizard. I'm gonna die to this lizard, guys. All right, let's try this lizard. I'm gonna die. Hey guys, how much you wanna bet that in some way, somehow, I'm gonna be petrified by this sand lizard? And it's like a 9% chance of happening. Okay. Get poisoned, bitch. Get bio, bitch. Oh, he did a fire thing? Oh my gosh, I might actually die. I don't know. Oh, do I have regen? I do. Was that Quiltada, maybe? Ooh. Did he die? Oh. He died. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. While checking out proper 14 mods for the first time the other day, I discovered something curious about the torch fashion accessory. Well, share that amongst yourselves. I probably... I have no interest in putting in mods in 14. Oh, I didn't use the E-Chat ring. Okay. Okay, after this, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and then properly put the E-Chat ring on. The E-Chat. I know it's called the Ashad ring, but like, you're an E-Chat to me. Okay, Bunny dies. And I think I only have how many I have? Okay, I have 3 levels till 65, and then I have to do a limit break quest. Alright, I'll be right back. What is that? Did I get mail? Hold on. Oh wait, I can't check it yet. But I got mail somehow. Just note the devs implemented the functionality and didn't use it. For what? In-game mail. Do I have anything? Really? Okay. Alright. He must have sent that last night. Maybe it's a possibility. You know, I would think that if there was like a problem with lighting, yeah. Oh, it's like, what the fuck was that? Run! Ow! I didn't really miss anything. Oh, wait, he has reprisal? Damn, look at that. Look at his abilities, man. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. That's a goblin mercenary. Gotta be careful. Plenty of bunnies. There's bunnies back there. Why not? Hey, I am not an old man. Yet.
Huh?
Oh, he's getting attacked by another bunny. He's getting attacked by another... August, do something! This old fogey game. Oh, you mean the better one? Oh yeah, you're... I'm kidding. It's a nostalgia trip that I'm going on, and I hope to stay on it as long as possible. Oh, minions always apply. Oh, okay. So that's what's going on here. She's still casting. Like how everybody is like, yeah, I'm not going to pay any mind on the plugins or anything like that, or the mods. I don't think I have anything to really say on it. Because I'm not going to use them. No, I've had my fair share of like mod beasting from like friends in the Discord where I'm just like watching, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, bunny guy with washboard abs and nipple piercings, and you know, nobody in 14 has nipples, but yeah, for some reason I was like, wait a minute, I just noticed your character has nipples, and and she was like, yes, he does. He also has piercings, and proceeds to close in. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, what are you doing? You mean Persona 3? I bet you did play Leisure Suit Larry. I bet you did play Leisure Suit Larry. Oh, did I put him to sleep? Oh, okay, I didn't. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen anyway. Hit him! Alright. Okay, Shantotto. Okay. Alright, you didn't need to do all that. That was not necessary. Thank you. There was a mercenary behind me, dude. Idiots and horrible players. Well, we talked about this, man. We talked about... Oh, got another bunny. We talked about this. The reason why we have players like that in the game is because the game itself doesn't teach players how to optimize their gameplay. Constantly DC'd because apparently Square Enix has shit. I don't know what's going on with their server. That's on them. is actually in peril. They've been in peril for a while, brother. Since the game came out with Woke Floof, I guess. I don't know, man. Dataless wings? Oh, they instantly raise TP. Dataless wings. It's a temporary item, so it's not gonna... Wuthering Waves? Cool. Wuthering Waves. I probably will never play a gacha game ever again. Whoever made... Whoa! 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 We don't bring that here, Cherry. We don't want to bring that here. We'll be as bad as other people if we start bringing that kind of rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. We don't want that. You're I'm a Mats. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you are. That game came out and everybody was on it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to completely ignore this horse girl game. I still don't know. I mean, we don't know who came up with the character Wook Lamont. Whoever did, I mean, I'm sure they had some advice on the outside. Ooh, shoulder. Telefreud stuff and tempering a butchery of the Garlean storyline. The Telepheroids. So you argue that it started going downhill because the Garleans had like a different way in terms of their storyline. It's a fair assessment. I wouldn't say it was down that time. I'd say, nope. And I did it anyway. Uh-oh. I did too much damage! I did too much damage! I did too much damage! Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shantotto. You are the best. I got 2,000 experience off of that. Now, I think it went downhill with, honestly, post Endwalker. At least in terms of, like, content. Because it, like, really showing through that their content and system of what they're doing is not really working out. I need a lizard. Holy shit, I got lucky there. Holy shit, I got so fucking lucky. Yo, Shantotto came in, dude. Oh, man, she came in. I was like, oh crap, I got a goblin on me. You got a crit on me after that. Jeezers. You started feeling that way in Shadowbringers? I think the repetitiveness shone through within Shadowbringers. The story was great. The gameplay was actually pretty good, in my opinion, in Shadowbringers. Then we got to Endwalker, and then it really started being broken down. So the story is ending. Okay, the story is all good. That's a good ending for sure. And then we get into the content of all of it, and we're like, wow, this is pretty bad. Game's combat system is too rigid. There's only ever one optional rotation for all encounters at max level. That gets so stale. That's true. I can't even lie about that. The only ones that can really mix it up if you know what you're doing is probably like Monk. But that's because they have different forms. That and Paladin, I think. Paladin can do that. Warrior doesn't... Honestly, Warrior doesn't have like a strict form of a rotation. To be honest, I think warriors are more freer tanks than any other tank, but they're rather simple in nature. What's scary to think about is the fact that hold on. What's scary to think about is the fact that they found their niche when it came to the development of the game, and that niche usually catered towards those who are more on the casual side in terms of content, because you got to remember the Endwalker relic grind wasn't even a grind. It was watch a movie, there you go, now you can get your relic. And it was like there was no work put towards it, and they still don't understand how to make the grind actually fun. That's the problem that they've been having for years. They don't know how to make the grind fun. And there are people out there who will defend like, oh no, the grind isn't supposed to be fun. And it's like, okay, well tell that to RuneScape. healers are not, or paladins are not very free. That's people who don't know how to play the fucking game. That's all I got to say about that. Like, honestly, come on. Two-minute meta is a massive part of why fights are always the same. Yeah, I think they choose to stay with the 2-minute meta because it's easier to design a boss around the 2-minute meta. It's probably easier to go about that than try to have, like, you know, a variety in terms of the fight here. The grind in 14 is frustrating, but even worse, it's boring. You're close to deleting 14, right on the edge of that. I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I know plenty of people who uninstalled 14. Like, the worst thing you can do to a video game is make it boring, and that's the death of it. That, like, if you can't make it fun, then, like, that's the essence of a game in general. And I'm tired of hearing the argument of, like, oh, well, do video games really need to be fun? And I'm like, yes! Why would you make a game without it being fun? And there was that one conversation I've had with my friend in my free company. Love him to death. He's gonna be my bud. I missed. That is hugely bad. Oh no, I didn't miss. I just did bad damage. I parried? Bro. What is that? Parry and evasion. Holy crap. My parry and evasion was leveled up. Oh shit, it's nighttime. I forgot about that. And Doom Soldier. Shit. Oh. Doom Soldiers. Let me get the fuck out of here. My case, who's this? Salad Saba. Okay. Let me recoup a little bit here. Read what you guys are saying. Go to the boat until it sinks. Well, boring and relaxing, I don't know if I can really put those two together. When I play RuneScape and I'm doing something in RuneScape like grinding and it happens to be relaxing, it's not boring, because something relaxing to me is never boring. So I don't know if it's like a difference in definitions there. Something boring should be like its own definition there. Like, if it's boring, I'm not having fun, I'm not relaxed, I'm frustrated usually when I'm bored, or I just don't feel anything. Video games are serious jobs. Where the hell is Cherry's check? Well, I mean, when I was finding a job, I made it my job to find a job. You know? That was because I needed money, obviously. But people will allay this to, like, okay, so what you're saying is playing a video game is a job. And it's like, there's all types of definition and variations for that, you know? Just goof around, wind down, and get your goal. 14 just doesn't have the aspect to its grind, or partly because the rewards are worthless very quickly. Yeah. I mean, the relic is worth getting, in my opinion, because it's the trophy at the end of the expansion. The problem is they have content that they're trying to push forward, and they're using that as a solution for the grind, whereas they are not really thinking about the design of the grind at all, and whether, like, they haven't fixed, like, one of the things and complaints that I always have is that when you go ahead and start doing dungeons of lower level, you have to realize that you're using you're locked out from your full kit, and that makes it less fun to go through that dungeon. The true reason people were complaining about not having your full kit when you go back down to like level 50 and stuff like that, isn't because they want to get the dungeon done faster. It's because they wanted to have fun with the full kit of their jobs and not be bored out of their mind. They really think that if you, and this is I think they've said this in an article, that if you had your full kit at a lower level, you'll be too powerful and the dungeon will go by too fast. And it's just like, well, then crunch the numbers. Like, do some math. It's not hard to do. It's a few lines of code. I mean, it's not going to be few, because each and every job is going to have to be looked at when it comes down to the calculations of what you have in terms of damage. But like, come on. I know she was replying to that. Well, people who get the relic are getting it for two reasons. They get it for either the stats, or they're going to get it because it looks good. Not really, like, maybe let's say that half the people are getting the relic because it looks good and the other half wants it for the stats. Either or, people will want the relic. You're saving so much money. Yes, you are. To buy skins and put your money through a fake ass digital pachinko machine. I'm certainly not talking about gacha. Only need 2 hotbars for your classes? I think that's fair, but I necessarily don't mind having 3 hotbars or 4. But my fingers run like fighting, like my fingers run like a fighting game, right? And I truly do. I go all out on that one. You want to know something? I don't think there's a single gacha game that I can see that is worth over $30 to $40. Not a single one. Well, I should say when they come out. Like, Honkai Star Rail was kind of like, oh, I hope this is actually good because it's a turn-based game, right? Turn-based strategy game, and I was hoping that, oh, nope, it still has that Honkai quality in it, and like, shit, fuck, man. And I don't even think that game's worth $20. Like, it at most it's $20, maybe. But gacha games has this certain quality that I kind of don't see as quality in it. Like, it all comes from the same DNA. Like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Like, I don't have like a visceral hatred towards gacha games. I just can't play it myself. But I also think gacha games is kind of like ruining kind of ruining what it means to have some sort of quality to your game. Everybody's like, oh, I love this insert gacha game here, but they're all just doing the same fucking thing. They're all trying to get your money. That's all it is. They're not really doing any. They're not doing this for the player. They want profit. That's all that matters to them. And this is without saying, but yes, I get that video games are made with profit in mind. Oh, man. So early. It's only 4 o'clock and dinner's done? That's crazy. Octopath Zero is going to be interesting. It's a gacha game redesigned as a retail game? I didn't know that. Is it really? Well, that's crazy. Sure, he doesn't like fighting games? Well, hopefully... Oh, no! No, not yet. I will do... Is he petrified? He might be petrified. No, he's not petrified. Oh, he got us good, though, with the bomb. That fucking sucks. That's my bad, everybody. I wasn't paying attention. Jeezers, man. What is all this? Ooh. You know, here's... Don't ask me how much I spent on Rivals. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't mind free games. In fact, I think there's like a I think Rivals business model in terms of them selling their like even Fortnite has a pretty good business model where like you can always rebuy your battle pass with the last battle pass you use with the currency that comes out of it. But put that away. What the Andy? I just think what a person should do with a product is be able to buy it once and be able to have access to that product rather than having to assess how much money to put in, because people are dumb. People are fucking dumb, right? They're not going to know how much money to actually spend, I want to say. They're going to keep spending and thinking that, oh yeah, I can spend like $100 on the game because I think it's $100. It's like a freaking investment. All right, man. I'll see you later. For your Borderlands 2, I'll see you later, man. I'll see you later. I think Riot MMO is the last one I'll try. I think when the Riot MMO comes out, we're going to see an evolution of MMOs. I believe. And best believe with the millions of players who play League of Legends, they're also going to try out the Riot MMO. Best believe. Hold on. Okay, I'm getting Spark. That's pretty good. I'm getting Spark. Hope I'm right. I mean, I hope I'm right too, but like Riot has all the chances to make one of the best MMOs ever created. They have the lore, They could probably do it. Most working people know the value of money. I believe that, but most working people who know the value of money are also not gamers. Those are people who spend how much they want and spend to whatever they want. They may not even like they're spending $200, but they're like, hey, it's whatever because they have the money to spend it. So, and they're the ones who are smart with their money. So it doesn't even matter whether they're smart or dumb with it. Like, you know, freaking, I want to say, I know somebody who's very smart with their money, and they put in kind of like a bank account on how much they spend on like a gacha game. And I asked him how much he spends like every time he gets a paycheck on it. He's just like, oh, I spend like, you know, $300 on it. I'm just like, why? Why would you do that? And he was just like, well, I get what I want from it. And $300 is nothing to me. And I'm just like, all right. Like, honestly, can't really argue that. If $300 is nothing to him, there's no argument. And he's smart with his money. He's not going to lose it. Just spend what you want, in my opinion. You can't take it to the grave. Absolutely. This is exactly what it is, right? If you have the money, you can spend it. But that's the problem. When people have free reign to spend as much money as they want, it doesn't matter whether you're responsible with money or you're not responsible with your money. You can just spend the money and do whatever you want. Well, they're not thinking about that, are they, Andy? They're not thinking about a jalapeno corn dog from a 7-Eleven, are they? No, they care about the horse girl that they have to breed in order to make them faster on a track so that they can win a silly little derby, and then after the derby, they go back. Wait, don't they like sing or something? Do they do that? They're like idols, right? I don't know. I don't know the fucking game. Okay. All right, $300 pays my electric bill. Well, guess what? They already did it. They already paid their electric bill long time ago. They don't give a fuck. They're spending $300 whether you like it or not. You could sit there and complain about the fact that it's like, why'd you spend $300 in a horse game? Oh wait, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm putting the connections together. They're spending money on a phone game where there's horse girls running in a derby. Is there any betting involved in that? I'm asking for science. They haven't lived yet. They should try going to New York and try a corny dog, or a conny dog is what it. Have a burger or pizza. Why are we talking about food now? We're talking about the value of money here. We're missing out on the main point of the conversation. Oh, he stole my frickin' lizard. You bastard. How dare you? Oh, they have a Peru. Hoopo Freed, Tenzin. I wonder if that's the meta, really. The meta trust. Frickin' mercenary, get the fuck out of here. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Oh wait, I'm not at full TP. I was gonna go over there and just, bop them a little bit. Goblins give off a good amount of experience. The problem is that they will wreck my shit if I'm not careful. Every time I fought a goblin, I've had weapon TP, so. Coney Island dog? I think so, that's what I was trying to say. Let's focus on the hot dogs. Here he comes! Oh, okay. You feel like eating a pizza because we talked about it? Oh, man. I would like that router. I would, but I'm having this rather heavy suspicion that you know, the ISPs are looking at us and say, "All right, let's throttle this. Let's throttle this person. Let's throttle this person. Let's throttle this person." I'm doing it. Let's go. All right, Goblin Mercenary, do it. Okay, not yet. Oh, he is dead. He's like super dead. Oh my. They had their TP ready. He is super dead. Oh my. Nah, he wasn't living today. He was not ready for that. It was crazy that Final Fantasy XIV crafting and gathering relics got it right, but the combat didn't, because you're fighting against people who actually want to do something with the relics in terms of combat, and then there are people who are getting honestly, I'm not really too sure about the crafting and gathering relics myself, but I think it's doing just fine. Hold on. Damn. 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 Okay, he's dead. I am at level 64. I got one more level to 65, and then I have to do the quest thing again. Oh, man, that was fast. Let's get more, because I know I can get more spark if I take on. I'll have to change that, won't I? Main throttler and Concast, their speed is dirt for all I care. It practically is, right? PC was the only thing that's connected to a 2 gig speed. You know what's funny? You guys are gonna not believe me when I say this. I can go up to 5 gig speed, but equipment is too expensive. Don't really need that much more for that part. I only upgraded one because of a promo throughout the 17 plus connection. You want to know something that's like really funny that I found out? We have the technology to apparently, what is this? Oh, okay. We have the technology for like somehow manipulating light, right? And you guys know that light speed is pretty much the fastest known speed right now in the known universe. Apparently there's a way for speed to be utilized in terms of connection. So I'm like, okay, are we using that for the internet? And I'm not sure if we are. And I think that might be fiber optic. It might be that, but I don't know. But I'm saying if we had light speed communication in terms of the internet, I don't think we would have like problems in fighting games. Like, we have rollback netcoding that somewhat helps, but that's a program, or that's more or less like a program trying to work off a prediction. Oh, that's sad. You hear him? Did you hear him? He was like, ah! But yeah, I would love to be in the future where all of our internet is like basically light speed. We have yet to harness that? Fiber optic can do terabits. Anything above 50 ms is noticeable in Street Fighter 6. The lag is real. I don't know. Is there like is there like, okay, so do I need to change that now? Do I need to change that now? That's field support. I want to be in the future where I can conjure a hot dog by waving my hand. I want to be in the future where I can conjure a hot dog and it falls on your head. Yeah, I went there. Robber crabs and no. Goblin family? I don't think I want robber crabs. Fighting games are generally one, if not the genre that gets affected by small differences in paying the most. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because you're doing a one-on-one against robber crabs and velociraptors. Okay. Now. Let's go back to 1, which is... Yeah, let's do that. It's because it's a 1v1, and if one side has like a problem going on with their internet, it's very noticeable. Missing a mouse. Yeah, missing a move cause I thought block is so annoying. I mean... Oh my gosh. If I showed you guys, like, what my Smash Ultimate Online plays are like, it's either good or bad. And on the screen, you might not even see the lag, but it's because it's like peer-to-peer. Then they're peer-to-peer bullshit. Damn. Okay, he took him a while to die. Ugh. Jeez, man, my shoulder. I like how the Beach Bunny has no idea. He walks away. He's like, what was that? I think he can't. He's coming back. Oh, no, he's not. Especially bad in those where you have input combinations you have to make. Yeah, and you can't... If you're looking on the screen, you're trying to make the judgment call to do the right combo, and then you miss because you're thinking on screen, oh, I didn't do that, but you did. It becomes a problem. I think that's what Riot is trying to fix in... Okay. You can't run from this. I think they're trying to make up for the lag in 2XKO, and I know they have rollback netcoding in it. But even still, it is a bother, man. It's not good to accept unless it's hardwired connection and anything over. Yeah, yeah. The thing about Nintendo, though, they seem to know how to make their connections work in Splatoon somehow. And even Splatoon has their moments where it's like, okay, the game got canceled because some dude DC'd or some shit like that. But when everyone is actually able to get in there, it's not bad internet. Or it's not a bad... It never really seems to be bad. Like, the slightest little hiccup usually just results in cancellation of the game. And I'm only saying this just for Splatoon, because every other game that Nintendo has that it has online doesn't seem to work entirely correct. Like, Smash Brothers especially. Without an internet wire. I'm kind of glad they put an Ethernet port in the dock for the Switch too. Makes me feel happy at the very least. Oh, there's another lizard back there. I need to find a frickin' goblin. Think I can take on that goblin over there? Think I can take this guy on? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. It's gonna be bad. I'm gonna die. Wasn't much. It seems like that was too good. I mean, we got hit by the bomb too. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, I wanted to kill him before that, but I wanted to see if I could establish a target on the rabbit, and the rabbit should just be ignored, honestly. You had a massive sigh of relief when you saw it. Let me just say this. Even though I saw the port, I just knew that we were still doing peer-to-peer. We don't want peer-to-peer. We want something else. That's a lot that you need to go for, bro. Let me go after, what is that? That is a goblin bandit. I'm gonna regret this. All right, if I die, somebody pick me up. On your way. No, yeah, I'm kidding. I'll be fine. I'll be fine, hopefully. Because I have stone skin. Uh, 1500 isn't bad. In fact, I'd say that's pretty good. Where I'm at with this, I am... okay. Huh! I was about to say. Well, on the... oh, shoot, I am bleeding? What? Oh, I scratched too hard, that's why. On the meantime, however... did he die? On the meantime, however, I just have to say this. Video games are getting kind of... like, I gotta know what is going on with the gaming industry, really. Are they trying to innovate? Or are they not? Like, why? Where are you at in Rhapsodies? I would say I got done the Rhapsodies that allows me to have 4 people in my trust. So I need to... I'll get on that. I'll personally get on that, okay? Just curious? Fair enough. Uh-oh. Oh, can I finally use this? Okay, he's almost dead, though. Can I... yeah, alright, let's get this bunny. They're trying to make money. They're trying to make money. Art is just a bonus if it happens. Oh, man. They're short, dude. Ugh. Oh god. Okay, so he is pretty damn op. That's good to hear. He is a pretty damn op tank. Well, I mean, I think at this point in time, I guess we're only waiting. I mean, we already have a problem with Nintendo. Okay, he did. And I hate to say this, but like... Ugh. Even though the business of Nintendo is pretty fucking bad, we're still gonna buy the games, aren't we? Like, we're still just gonna buy those games. Oh, we just all did it. Yeah. Because of that, they're just gonna do whatever they want. I don't know how their whole, hey, we're gonna patent summoning monsters thing is going to actually pan out. Like, they already got it patented in the US. So, like, what about Digimon? Or Digimon stories? Or Monster Hunter stories? Well, I guess you're not really summoning, right? But he's just staring. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Did I go through my... Oh my god. There's no way I went through that ring that... went through the experience bonus that fast. Are you kidding me? Well, here's the thing. Remember the day where the Switch 2 came out and everybody was complaining online to all the creators saying like, how is it that you can criticize Nintendo but you still bought the Switch 2, right? And I'm like, alright, fair enough. Alright, fair, fine. For me though, I never said I wasn't buying the Switch 2, right? And I'm sitting here criticizing Nintendo for what they did, but I never said, I was like, straight up, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. Do I have other experience rings? Oh yeah, of course. Like the caliber ring. I bring multiple rings. I know the Ashad ring you can recharge though. That's the one that can be recharged. Funkers. Funky monkey. Who dat? Sorry, buddy. Gonna have to hit you. Oh, okay. I do need to reestablish my trust. I think they were one level under. Oops! Oh man, why was that on? I didn't even mean to. Oh, it defaulted on it. Well, that's stupid. Okay. Well, better not waste it. Is he running away from me? I think he is. Oh, the alchemist is strong. I might have made a mistake here. I got Dia'd? Oh, man. This is gonna be a fight. Okay. I know he has a bomb, so if I survive... It's water, it's lightning, it's wind, ice damage, fire damage. Oh, he did. Oh, and he gave me so much experience. What the heck? Yo! Get the f out of here. There's no way. There's no way I got Shelra 4. There's no way. Oh my god, he just drops it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Too bad that's for white mage. It costs a lot though. I mean, even still, like, I don't know if I'll ever get my white mage up. Never was a healer in 11. I review that. Okay, 3 and 4. Healer is the role you enjoy. Ow. Well, of course. Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know if they... I mean, it would be a good idea if they discount the sub fee for 11. You'll probably have a lot more people trying out 11, at the very least. And this is all because of Echoes of Vanadil, right? Hey, shield bash? Holy crap. Okay. Okay, so that's done. Let me get the frickin'... Let me get the lizard. To be honest, what are you saying? To be honest, if they did that, it might actually get me to try it out. I think it would be a good idea for... Uh-oh. What's a Velociraptor doing here? Also, current state of 14 due to stagnation. I mean, the stagnation was brought about bad storyline and just content that isn't something that people like. I think the Relic quest right now is what people can say that they could be playing right now, or could be using right now as a means or a reason to play the game. Which, I mean, yeah, this is the same thing for me. But it's not, that shouldn't be the only content where people want to come in and actually, Ooh, my shoulder still. Not looking forward to the headache of making the game work if that ever happens. Still trying to find that one piece of content in an MMO that is fun to grind and have fun with it, you know? Okay, he hit me. Let's go. Oh my god. And there you go. I still have 3290. Need to work on that. Alright, we're at level 65. Which means I can get started on the next limit break quest. Why am I... Wrong book. Wrong book! Okay. Oh, okay. Only thing I can say about her is I hope she gets what she deserves. Yeah, the current relevance that is the current state really gives you anything to do. What are you talking about? Also, wait, also what's her name? Causing problems shall not be named? I mean, Kate, right? Got any kindred seals? Yeah, I have plenty. Yeah, I got plenty of kindred skills. I mean, it looks like I have 7, but I have way more. I have way more. But yeah, I'm gonna study up on the level 65 limit break quest. See if I can figure out on my own how to get past that. But we're at level 65. It's easy? Okay, cool. Yeah, level 65, yeah. Why do I have over 2,000 already experience? Where'd that come from? Okay, what was the thing I was supposed to do? Thinking. Give me a second. Give me a second, I'm thinking. What was I supposed to do? Other than that, other than looking up the limit break quest, what was it? What was I supposed to do? I don't remember what I was supposed to do. I just don't remember. Remember Kate introduction, where she mentioned she was behind gender neutral Fae. Like actually kinda in my opinion, but weird flex? Weird flex kinda? I don't know. I think next time we're gonna maybe I'll do the quest on my own, the limit break quest on my own, and then we'll just pick up on leveling after that so I can get to 70. But after that, I mean, ooh, I'm sorry. Hit the microphone there. But after that, I gotta figure out what's going on. Later on, I think I'm going, well, no, I'm definitely going to be doing some Silk Song. Need to get progress in that. I need to finish that game. I really do. I need to finish that game. What else? What else are we planning here? I don't know if I'm going to be playing 14 later on. The reason for that is because I am juggling way too many fucking games. But, yeah. I think we're going to be taking a break. I'll post up, a stream, like, maybe an hour, hour and a half later. I was going to say something... Oh, yeah. I don't know anything about what's going on with Kate. I don't know what's going on with that Kate character. Is she fired yet? Is she fired yet? I imagine Square Enix doesn't want to have somebody as volatile as that in their company. She probably fine? Yeah. Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to her, like something real bad. Like, if you guys understand that, I don't want anything to. Okay, so let's. All right. Guys, we're about to get the lock sound. Oh boy. Well, give me a second. Give me a second. I'll be right back and we can have, like, you know, a good chat what's going on here. Talks among yourselves. I'll be right back. What'd I miss? What'd I miss? I see Machinist is a beaten child. Oh my gosh. Dooming? You guys were dooming? The state of 14? Oh, okay. What's the topic on that? What are you guys talking about with that? Here, I'll throw on the good old just to get you in the mood, I guess. If we're dooming about 14, and y'all talking about Machinist, well then, I have a feeling they're never really gonna try to fix that. Oh, they really need to do something about Machinist though. That's like an emergency. That's an emergency right there. They got to do something about Machinist. And about healing, I would not be an expert in that one. It just looks like healers are not getting the best part of all this. I think healing is it's kind of the... It is the result of what we have for all these years, and I will admit it started in Shadowbringers. It really did. It started in Shadowbringers. Because if we think about it, Shadowbringers kind of was the start of it all, really. The routine of their content that was coming out. Until eventually you reach kind of like an apex here in Dawn Trail. But they have to rethink everything. I don't know. Maybe... And maybe this isn't the best thing to say, but maybe they should have ended the story at Endwalker and then, like, maybe should have been working on the next MMO with better code. I don't know. Certainly I wouldn't mind that, but if they have to keep going with 14, there's a lot of changes that needs to be made. Yeah, I get that. I got somebody commenting on the video that I said was like disappointing, and they were commenting on my gameplay because I separated from the stack as a tank. Meanwhile, I'm just like, well, I know they can take it. So that was funny. Barely feels relevant. Oh my goodness. Need to use a group mit? I mean, I don't know if I did or not. I don't know if I did or not. But all I can really say is that what are the major problems that we have in 14? Like, healing feels like they really want healers to feel like, I think they're trying to push healers to just be healers. Just heal all the damn day. And not really do much in terms of damage. But, like, when you have a healer, what's one of the things that they're supposed to do? They're supposed to support. I think healers should have more support in terms of, like, buffing. I think when it comes to damage, they should be able to do some sort of damage, some sort of enfeebling. Like, I think that's what healers should be able to do. But they're taking enfeebling out, really, honestly. Like, every single enfeeble that's in the game has to go in conjunction with the player who put the enfeeble on. A lot is hinging on Yoshida's next FanFest presentation, I think. There really isn't much that they can do, I guess. Like, they can try to change some things, but they said that they already have plans 5 years out, and they're planning to go another 10 years. To get what they need, their support, yeah. They are support, and they tried to put DPS as some sort of support, but I mean, and that's perfectly fine, but they can be a different kind of support. And I know healers are healers, honestly, but they can have more. They can have haste. They can have some sort of enfeeble against other mobs, right? And that's what I think should be done. And a little bit of cure for any of the support DPS for sure, but if there's supposed to be a support DPS, they should do more damage, obviously, than support. I think that's the case, you know? I don't know. But in any case, I'm gonna schedule Silk Song an hour and a half later, and see if we can make some progress in that. Yeah, it is. It really is. So I'll see you guys later down the line. I'm going to rest up, and hopefully we can get some sort of progress going on in Silk Song. All right.